Hi guys, it's Mrs. Tucker again. Let's go over a few of these questions on the first of these STAAR packets from Region 4. These are the kind of questions that you will be seeing on the STAAR test. So, on this comparing and ordering of fractions and decimals, we did this one in class together using a number line. If they're asking you to compare and order negative decimals or fractions, I highly recommend you make a number line. You got to be very careful when you're dealing with negative numbers. Let's look at number 3. Which statement is not true? Here's the problem with this question. You'll go through here and you'll look at the first one and you're going to say negative 0.01 is greater than negative 0.12. That's true, and you're going to circle that. But the problem is, this is a not problem. People forget the word not. We're not looking for one that's true. We're looking for the one that's false. Be careful there of not problems. Be very careful. You're not looking for the one that's true. You're looking for the one that's false. There's going to be 3 of them here that's true. So let's see if we can find which one's false. I know that one's true because I'm thinking on a number line and I'm thinking backwards. These are all negative. You've got to be thinking backwards. Draw yourself a number line if you need to. Here's 0. Numbers get bigger going in this direction. Here's -2. Here's -1. All right. Can you picture, let's do one that's easy. -2.34 compared to -3.42. Which one is closer to 0? Yeah, that one's closer to 0, so that is larger than this one. That's true. Look at this one. I've got -1 2/3 is less than -1. Here's -1. -1 2/3 is back here somewhere. Is this one right here smaller than that one? Yes, that's true. But we're looking for the one that's false. -3/4 is about right here. -5/8 is a little bit bigger than a half, -1/2, so it's about here. And they said this one is bigger than that one, and that's false. Okay? So be careful when you're comparing and ordering negative numbers. Put yourself together a number line. All right, next question. Let's see, I wanted you guys to go to page 2, and I want you to do number 2 at the top. This one right here. Which point or points on the number line is between 31 and 7/16 and 31 and 5/6? The 31s are both the same. So what you're comparing is the 7/16 and the 5/6 on this number line. Okay, well, how do you convert those to decimals? 7/16, which one goes in the house? Yeah, the 7 does. The 16 goes out here. Add in a decimal point, put that up. How many times does 16 go into 70? Well, I would ask myself, how many times does 20 go into 70? And that's about 3 times. Start there. See what you get when you convert that. Now you're going to have to convert 5/6. Which one goes in the house? Yeah, the 5 does. The 6 goes out here. Put in a decimal point, put it up here on the line. How many times does 6 go into 50? About 8 times, because that's 48. Let's see, what did you get when you did this over here? Is that big enough? Well, let's see, that's 18, that's 3, 4. That's not big enough, is it? Let's try a 4 there. Let's try 4 instead. Put a 4 there. What's 16 times 4? 24. That's 4, 5, 6, 64. Try that. Okay? So you got to figure out about where is this on the number line, about where is this on the number line, and which one of these falls between those 2 points. Okay? The next one I asked you guys to do was number 1 at the bottom of this page. Number 1, the students were surveyed to determine how much of their homework was completed during study hall. Which list shows the amount of homework completed in order from least to greatest. Okay, least to great. I have to make myself that note because sometimes they do greatest to least and I always pick the wrong answer. All of these need to be converted to decimals. Here's 0.75. If you go out to the hundredths place, make all of them go out to the hundredths place. 9/20ths is the same as how many hundredths? What do you do to 20 to change it into 100? Yeah, multiply by 5. So 9 multiplied by 5 gives you 45 hundredths, or 0.45. Do the same thing with this one. Convert it to hundredths and then change it to a decimal and then put them in order from least to greatest. And I'm going to tell you what, 2 of these right off the bat you can eliminate. Right off the bat you can eliminate 2 answer choices. Okay, let's go to page 3. I would love to see you guys do some of the rest of these problems. And when you do, I've got an answer key here in class. You can come compare. I'm also putting scrambled answer banks on my webpage. Let's do number 4 at the top on page 3. Okay, they want to know which fraction is between -2/5 and -1/2. Those are pretty easy decimals, but don't forget we're talking negatives here. All right, here's -0.5, and that's -0.5 right there, -0.5. What is 2/5 as a decimal? Remember your 5-finger rule, 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, 1 whole? That's -0.2, I'm sorry, 0.4, 0.2, 0.4. -0.4 is about right here. They want to know which one of these fractions falls in this range here. And I'm telling you, you can do this by process of elimination. Eliminate the ones that you know don't fall in that range, and you can find the answer that does and not have to do any long division. You won't have to convert any to decimals. Okay, are we still on page 3 here? Let's do 1, 3, and 4 at the bottom. 1, 3, and 4. There are 9,710,000 web pages devoted to top 40 singers. What is this number written in scientific notation? That's a really large number, so my exponent on my 10 is going to be positive. Well, first of all, are these all positive? Yep, they are. Now I need to pick up my decimal point that's right there and put it right there because my number out front needs to be 1 greater than 1 but less than 10. And now I count how far I move the decimal point. Be careful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I counted 6 places. That's what I get for an answer. Okay? Number 3. The Hoover Dam used 3,250,000 cubic yards of concrete. What's this number in scientific notation? First of all, is that a really big number or a really small number? It's really big, so the exponent on the 10 is what? Positive or negative? Yeah, it's got to be positive. Can I eliminate any answer choices based on that? No, I cannot. The number out front has to be between 1 and 10, so I'm going to take that decimal point, pick it up, and put it right there. So the number out front has to be this. Can I eliminate any answer choices based on that? Well, yeah, that one doesn't work, that one doesn't work, and that one doesn't work. So the only one that's left is C. And then you could go ahead and count how many places, and in fact it is 6. All right, so number 4. Light can travel 1 meter in that many seconds. What is this number written in scientific notation? First of all, is it a really big number or a really small number? Yes, it's very small, so the exponent on the 10 has to be negative. Can I eliminate any answer choices? Yep, I can eliminate that one and that one. Now, the number out front has to be between 1 and 10. How far did you move the decimal point? Be careful. -10 and -9 are very close to one another. You've got to be careful in counting. Okay, that's the bottom of page 3. Let's go on to page 4. I want you to do 4 at the top and 1 and 2 at the bottom. 4 at the top. Is that what it says, 4 at the top? It sure does. You know what? I really meant number 2 at the top. let me pause this for a minute. Okay, I really meant to do 2 at the top of this page. This is page 4. I really like this question. Sandra is driving from Houston, Texas to Birmingham, Alabama. So let's say this is the distance that she's traveling. Okay? And this right here is Houston, and this is Birmingham, Alabama. It says the distance between the 2 cities is 675 miles. So let's write that down. Total distance 675 miles from here to here. All right? She has driven 425 miles so far. So in a different color, I'm going to mark down what she's driven so far. Let's say from here to here. Let's say that is the 425 that she's driven so far. And she would like to drive 2/5 of the remaining distance before she stops for the night. How many additional miles does she need to travel? What's our first step here? Yeah, the first step is to figure out how long this piece is over here. Let's make that piece red. I need to figure out what's remaining. So the first step is going to be to subtract these 2 numbers. Subtract those 2, find out how long the red stretch of road is, and she's going to drive another 2/5 of this red piece. So take this distance here and divide it into 5 equal pieces. Okay? It's divided into 5 equal pieces. She wants to drive another 2/5 from here to here. That's how far she wants to drive before she stops for the night. They want to know how long is this blue piece right here. All right, we'll take that length of that red stretch of road, divide it into 5 pieces, multiply by 2. Easy enough. Let's do number 1 and 2 at the bottom. Sean put half of his money, his monthly allowance in savings, and spent 2/5 of his allowance on game rentals, and used the rest to buy snacks. If he spent $3.75 on snacks last month, how much is monthly allowance? Okay, he spent that much on snacks, and what fractional piece of his allowance did he use to buy snacks? Yeah, the rest. So let's take 1 whole and subtract off that fractional amount and subtract off that fractional amount. The fractional amount that's left is what he used to spend on snacks. So the first thing you need to do is take 1/2 and add 2/5 from it and get an answer there. Okay, common denominators, add those together. Once you get this answer here, subtract that from 1 whole. All right? That's the fractional part of his allowance that was used to buy snacks. So this fractional piece right here, I'm going to put it in a bubble. This is a fractional piece of his allowance, gave you the $3.75. So once you know what this number is, to get his allowance, you're going to take $3.75 and divide by whatever number's in that bubble. I know that sounds kind of complicated. We'll talk about it in class if you didn't understand my explanation. These questions, I told you, these are tough questions. Number 2 here says the energy of one particle is 4.82 joules. If this particle loses is subtracting. So I got 4.82 joules, and it's losing 15 joules of energy every 30 seconds. How much energy what will be its energy after 6 minutes? How many 30-second periods are in 6 minutes? Yeah, that's going to be 12 30-minute periods. So you're going to subtract off, it's losing 15 joules per minute, joules every 30 seconds, times 12 30-second periods. If you'll do that, you'll get your answer. All right?